People love to say she signed up for it. But let's be honest, no one signs up for this. Being First Lady of the United States while married to Donald Trump isn't just difficult. It sucks. It's a 24/7 performance review in front of the entire planet, where no one claps, everyone judges, and your only reward is a lifetime supply of memes and conspiracy theories about whether you've been replaced by a body double. This is why it sucks to be Melania Trump. You're born in Slovenia, back when it's still Yugoslavia, to a working-class family. Not royalty, not peasants, just somewhere in the middle. Your dad sells cars, your mom works in fashion, and your early life is basically modest communism with decent plumbing. You spent your childhood climbing trees, dodging homework, and wondering if life gets any more exciting than eating soup 5 nights a week. Spoiler, it does. Kind of. As a kid, you're quiet, observant, the kind of child who doesn't cause trouble but always knows when trouble's brewing. By your teens, it's clear that you've got the look. You're tall, symmetrical, and photogenic. The trifecta of please stand in front of this camera and look mysterious. Your classmates notice, the adults notice, a local photographer notices. Suddenly, you're doing small-time modeling gigs, which basically means posing in random fields, wearing clothes no one would actually buy for magazines no one actually reads. The pay? Almost non-existent. You're not exactly rolling in cash, more like softly tumbling in coins. But it's something. And at this point, anything beats sitting at home, watching the neighbors argue over goals and wondering if you'll spend your whole life in a town that has more cows than cars. Eventually, you realize it's time to level up, so you head to Milan, then Paris. Glamorous cities in theory. In reality, you're broke, living in an apartment the size of a closet, with 5 other girls who look vaguely like you and also think they're about to make it. The modeling world isn't all glitz and champagne. It's more like blisters, rejection, and cold pasta from a Tupperware box. Your home has one working outlet, a temperamental shower, and a neighbor who plays the accordion at 2 a.m. for reasons no one understands. Your days are a blur of castings, which are just fancy words for standing in a line while people judge you for existing. You walk into a room, they glance at you, whisper something in French, and wave you away. Sometimes they don't even look up from their clipboard. You could be on fire and they'd still say, merci. Next. You quickly learn the industry's unspoken rules. Rule 1, never show up with messy hair. Rule 2, never show up with opinions. Rule 3, if someone offers you food, it's a trap. Your meals consist of cigarettes, espresso, and the occasional cube of cheese if you're feeling reckless. Carbs? Cute. Water? Only if it's sparkling and free backstage. Hunger becomes a personality trait. Outfits, usually either see-through, absurdly tight, or both. Shoes, designed by sadists. You spend most of your time trying not to fall over while pretending to be aloof, yet approachable. Whatever that means. And if you're lucky, you get paid in exposure, which is just code for you'll be broke, but at least you'll be broke in Paris. Some girls thrive on chaos. You're quietly planning your exit because you've figured out the truth. This industry doesn't care about you. Just the image you can protect. You're looking for something more stable than runway shows and maybe next time. Something or someone that might actually offer a future, not built entirely on stilts and contouring. You just don't know it yet, but that something is about to arrive. In 1996, you land in New York, the city of dreams and relentless rent. You're hustling, booking gigs, dodging creeps, and living the model life, which mostly involves trying not to trip in heels that double as medieval torture devices. Then one night at a fashion party you probably didn't want to attend, you meet Donald Trump. Real estate mogul, tabloid mainstay, and human foghorn. He asks for your number. You don't give it. He's not used to hearing no, so naturally he loves it. He tracks you down. Red flag? Maybe. You start dating. He's rich, loud, and 24 years older than you. But hey, modeling isn't a retirement plan, and you're smart enough to know that stability in this industry means finding it elsewhere. In 2005, you get married. It's a huge, flashy, gold-plated affair, because of course it is. You wear a dress that weighs more than a toddler, and the guest list includes everyone from the Clintons to whoever was famous that month. A year later, you have your son, Barron. Life settles into a rhythm. Fancy events, occasional interviews, smiling quietly while your husband makes headlines for being Donald. For a while, you stay in the background, not because you're shy, but because being silent is safer when your husband is a media magnet. And then, 2015. Donald announces he's running for president. You probably think it's a joke. It's not. Suddenly, your life is about to be a constant news cycle, and you're front and center, whether you like it or not. On the campaign trail, you're dragged into interviews, rallies, and press conferences. People mock your accent. They dissect your outfits. They dig up your old modeling photos and plaster them everywhere. You give a speech. Well, someone gives you a speech to give, and suddenly you're accused of plagiarizing Michelle Obama. The internet explodes. You become a meme. Again. You didn't write the speech, but guess who takes the heat? Fast forward, Inauguration Day 2017. You walk beside your husband, forced smile in place, and someone catches the moment you stop smiling the second he turns away. Boom. Viral. Hashtag Free Melania trends for weeks. People aren't sure if you're trapped or just really bad at hiding disdain. You say nothing, because honestly, what would you even say at this point? Life in the White House is not great. You delay moving in, citing your son's school and the fact that living with your husband full-time while the world watches sounds like a hard pass. Eventually, you move in, and now every hallway is a photo op, every outfit is a statement, and every word you say is either not enough or way too much. You launch your initiative. Be best. Focused on kids and anti-bullying. Admirable, sure. Except your husband is personally starting Twitter fights with everyone from journalists to foreign leaders. You're asked about the contradiction. You smile. I don't always agree with what he tweets. The understatement of the century. Let's talk Christmas. You decorate the White House with trees that look like they were stolen from a horror movie set, and people lose their minds. Some love it. Some are terrified. You're caught on tape saying, "Who gives a f*** about Christmas stuff?" And honestly, relatable. Then Stormy Daniels happens. Allegations of an affair, hush money, and wall-to-wall news coverage. People look at you. You look at the floor. You skip events. Headlines read, "Where is Melania?" Your public silence becomes its own statement. You're not defending him. You're not condemning him. You're just there. And somehow that's more powerful than saying anything at all. Being First Lady is technically not a job, but somehow it's more work than any job you've ever had. There's no salary, no vacation, and no way to win. You wear heels to a disaster site? People scream. You wear sneakers? Still screaming. Everything you do becomes political, even when you're just trying to keep your son out of the tabloids and your husband out of jail. 2020 rolls around. Another campaign. You're back on the road. Different year, same routine. Smiling politely, standing silently behind Donald as he talks about fake news, rigged elections, and whatever else he's decided to be mad about that day. You're there, but you're not really there. The camera picks up on it, of course. They always do. One hand swat, one bored glance, one sigh, and suddenly, your side eye is international news. People don't even care about the speech. They care about you, standing next to him like you'd rather be literally anywhere else. Election night. He loses. He doesn't accept it. There are lawsuits, press conferences, long rants on social media, and you just want to go home. But even that's complicated now. Home isn't really home anymore. Whether you're in New York, Florida, or somewhere in between, people still follow you, still speculate, still analyze every step you take like it's part of some long-running drama you never agreed to star in. Are you leaving him? Are you staying? Is this the real Melania or just the latest appearance of fake Melania number 4? You haven't had a private moment in years, and honestly, at this point, you're not sure you'd know what to do with one. You finally leave the White House. Quietly. No grand speech, no big farewell tour. Just gone. And for a moment, it seems like you've escaped. But Donald doesn't stop. Not with the headlines, not with the rallies, not with the endless investigations. He's still in front of every camera, and somehow you're expected to keep showing up too. Same smile, same questions, same feeling that this whole thing stopped being about you a long time ago. People still debate what you're doing there. Some think you're a mastermind, playing a long game. Others think you're a hostage. The truth? Probably somewhere in the middle. You've got money, sure. Status, if that's what you want to call it, and a closet full of designer shoes that cost more than most people's rent. But every time you leave the house, someone's yelling your name and asking if you're okay. Like blinking twice in a photo will change anything. And just when things start to feel almost normal, he runs again. You probably hoped he wouldn't. He did. Another campaign, another round of rallies, speeches, and questions you don't want to answer. You're back in the same spots, hearing the same chants, standing under the same bright lights, and somehow he wins again. Now the cycle starts over like it never ended. The cameras, the questions, the awkward photo ops, all of it. People are already asking if you'll move back into the White House. You give the same answer as before. Not yet. Maybe hoping if you wait long enough, something will change. Probably knowing it won't. And just like the last time, there's talk. Will you stay with him through this term? Will you walk away? Will this be the moment you do something different? But you don't answer. You've learned the less you say, the louder people speculate. And honestly, that's the only part of this entire circus you've ever had any real control over. And somewhere in the middle of all this, you quietly renegotiate your prenup. The timing? Interesting. He's tied up in legal battles, spending millions on lawsuits, and suddenly you're securing a larger allowance, a bigger inheritance for Barron, and allegedly, a clause that says you never have to live in D.C. again. Not exactly subtle, but effective. People say it was about power, not divorce. Maybe, because after that, you disappear. No speeches, no campaign trail, not even a photo op. Meanwhile, Donald's back in the White House and you're still in Florida with no plans to move. Now everyone's asking if this is the moment you finally walk away, or just another move in a long game where you stay quiet, stay distant, and still end up with everything you want. So yeah, being Melania Trump, not exactly a fairy tale. Unless that fairy tale ends with memes, conspiracy theories, and absolutely no peace and quiet.